Hello and welcome to SNK Tuition. Today we're going over some basic algebra, and that is substituting into a given formula. We will cover what is substitution, we'll go through a couple of problem walkthroughs, and in part 2 of this video we'll go through some exam practice, specifically GABECE and BECE questions for West African students, but anybody can use them for revision. The questions are universal. So what is substitution? Substitution is replacing algebraic letters with their given values. Now in the question you will be given a numerical value for the letter, so you'll be told what x is equal to, or y, or whatever letter the question is referencing. A good analogy that my students came up with is that in football, when you substitute a player, it's a different person but it's doing the same function, and it's the same in algebra. It's a different it's no longer a letter, it's a number, but it's the same function. So here's a visual example. If we were told the total number of fruits is equal to the number of apples plus the number of oranges, quite intuitively you would know that you have to count the number of apples here, which is equal to 7, and the number of oranges here, which is equal to 5. And you would know that all you have to do is add them together. So you could replace them into this formula and it would be 7 plus 5. And you know that that is equal to 12. So it seems quite simple if you have a visual example. Well, it's the exact same if you no longer have a visual example and now it is more abstract. So here we don't know that it's fruits and it's apples and oranges. We're simply told that f is equal to a plus o. And we're told here that a is equal to 7, so we replace the a with 7, and we're told that o is equal to 5, so we replace the o with 5. And again, our answer is 12. So all we are doing when we're substituting is we're using the information from given in the question, replacing it into the formula, and then calculating. So let's go through an example. We are told r is equal to 3x minus 6. Find r when x is equal to 17. Okay, well we know that our formula is r is equal to 3x minus 6. Our next step is then to replace. So x is equal to 17, and I'm just going to draw an arrow here so to remind myself that I'm replacing this x with 17. So I replace. And our next step is to calculate. So 3 times multiplied by 17, well 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 7 is 21, so that's 51 minus 6. So r is equal to 45. So we replaced and we calculated, and it was as simple as that. Let's look at our example number 2. We are told m is equal to ac over d. Find m when a is equal to 10, c is equal to 5, and d is equal to 2. So here we know that a is equal to 10, c is equal to 5, and d is equal to 2. So I've drawn arrows next to each letter to remind myself when I'm transferring it. And so now let's replace the letters. So we know that ac means a, which is 10, is multiplied by c, which is 5. And this is all over d, which is 2. So let's calculate. We've replaced, now let's calculate. That makes 50 over 2, which is equal to 25. M is equal to 25. Again, really simple calculations once you've replaced the letters. So let's go through this example, which looks a bit different. The perimeter of the rectangle shown below is equal to P equals 2L plus 2W. Find the perimeter in centimetres. So let's circle the formula first. This is our important information, and we know that this is telling us the perimeter. And now we are told to find the perimeter. So we have the formula, but where is the information about the numerical values of L and W? Well, we don't have to look very far. Here we can see in the rectangle L is equal to 11 and W is equal to 6. So now what we have to do is replace. So 2L is equal to 11, so I write 2 multiplied by 11 plus 2 multiplied by W, which is equal to 6. Our last step is to calculate. Well, 2 multiplied by 11 is 22 plus 12. P is equal to 34. Now, if I refer back to the question, which you always should at the end of working anything out, it asks you to write the units in centimetres. So I just add centimetres here. So I replaced and I calculated. It's again very simple. You just have to replace the values and then calculate using one of the 4 operations or several of the 4 operations. So let's go through this GABECE question from 2013. Find the value of 2x minus yz all over x minus y in brackets cubed. So put x equals 5, y equals 3, and z equals minus 2 in the above expression. So again, I'm just going to draw arrows to remind myself when I'm referring back to replace what each letter is worth. And this just makes it a bit easier for me to visualize. This might not be helpful for you, but I think it's a good way to not have to look so much at the numbers and get confused. So I know that 2 is multiplied by 5 minus y, which is equal to 3, multiplied by minus 2 all over. Now x is equal to 5 minus 3, which is y, and this is cubed. So first I'm going to work out the numerator here, which is 10, and then minus 3 multiplied by minus 2. A negative multiplied by a negative makes a positive, so that's plus 6. And then over 5 minus 3 is 2 cubed. So that is equal to 16 over 2 times 2 is 4, multiplied by 2 again is 8. So all I need to do is now 16 over 8 is equal to 2. So my answer is 2. Now when you're working this out, you should use a new line for every sort of bit of working out a new line. It's just because of space constraints, I've done it horizontally across the slide. So that's all for today. Substitution, you just have to be careful of signs when you're replacing values and doing your calculations. It's very simple. Look out for the part 2 of this video, which will have exam practice questions. Subscribe so you can know as soon as that video is out. And more maths content is coming soon. Follow us on Instagram at snk.tuition and TikTok snk tuition. Thank you.